ask you this. You know, you talk about your kids and she gave your kids a ride, because the whole point of the show is the Parents Lounge. It's all about raising kids. Are your kids living at a different level? Do they understand how rare it is to like go for a ride with Danica Patrick?
You know what? I don't think they're going to really realize it till they get older, because, you know, my kids toured with me in a tour bus.
Yeah.
So, you know, that my little boy was born in 2006. That's when the first Cars movie came out. So ever since they were little, it just, I think they think it's normal. Like they've walked 5 red carpets. They've hung out with all the characters, all the people from the Cars movies they'll show up at. I mean, I really don't think that they will get, until they're older, that I can't get to do that when we were kids. I wish I would have known what was happening. You know, it's kind of, well, Jamie, it's kind of like me and my career. When I look back on my career, I'll go, man, I literally had no idea this was this big. I had no idea. If I would have known that it was as big as it was, I would have enjoyed it better and kicked back and went, whoa, and just taken it all in. But I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I was just out on the road doing comedy going, man, these are some big shows. But I never knew all the other stuff that was going on, you know? So I think it's kind of the same with my kids. I think they're just, it's so far, it's just been so normal a part of their life since they grew up in it on a tour bus that they think everybody does stuff like this.
I'm a huge Pixar fan, so thank you for, you know, creating such iconic characters that for me and my kids, we watch those movies together, and it's fantastic that you're able to, you know, be part of that experience.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. It's really fun, you know, and you ought to see these kids, like the parents know who I am, and some of the kids, they'll go, you know who that is? That's the guy that does Mater. And they'll kind of look at me, and then I'll go, woo-hoo, boy, I tell you what, I'm happy in the tornado. You ought to see their faces. That's all I got to do is go, woo-hoo, McQueen. Boy, their faces just light up. Hey, everybody, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're watching the Parents Lounge. And if you're not, you're a dadgum communist. You're done.
We could have homes on separate coasts, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the Parents Lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the Parents Lounge is the cure to staying sane.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another edition of the Parents Lounge. I am your host, Mr. Jason Gowan, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime, Mr. Jamie Kaler. Cheers to you, good sir.
Cheers, sir. I look forward to this Tuesday every week. Used to be Tuesday was a crappy day, like midweek. I'm like, ugh, and now I'm like, hey, Tuesday.
Yeah, because like Monday, you know, is going to be bad, but like Tuesday's like sucker punches you sometimes.
Yeah. And then by Wednesday, it's kind of like this kind of it's like it's the door that they're floating on in Titanic, except you are Kate Winslet and you've taken me, Jack, up on, and we're both on the door. And we know we're not probably going to make it through the rest of the week, but for now, we're on the door.
We're firmly on the door. The band is still playing.
Kids' first week of school this week. I got to tell you, it's it feels good. I'm enjoying it.
Are you?
Yeah. You kidding me? Yeah, I dropped them off Monday, and I came home and was like, it's all kind of a blur, but I think I took my clothes off and just danced like it was, you know, I was a Wiccan priestess during some satanic. Jason, did you feed your son? Hey, Michelle, what's up? Yeah, Jason, I'm sure he fed his son today. Did you feed your son today?
Oh, I know what she's talking about. All right. Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Hey, Michelle, can we? We just got here. I just ordered a drink. We just sat down at the bar. I mean, let's slow play the hand, shall we?
Don't rush me, Michelle. We're trying our best here.
Yeah. Come on, let's
Michelle,
pretend.
You're a great fan of the show, that you're here every week, and we appreciate that.
Oh, we love Michelle. But look who's there. Susan's there. People coming in. Jason hates it. His partner in crime is corrupting other kids now. I feel like after you get married, everything's quick. Like a lot of times my wife just says, get it over with. I'm not saying what task we're talking about specifically, but most things in life, she's like, just get it over with. Whereas before we were married, we took our time with things that we did. And now, it's just, let's get to it. Did you feed your kid? Let's get to the jokes. Let's get to the bits. No.
It hurts me, Jamie.
It hurts me. So anyway, first week of school for the kids. You're not really there yet.
No, we're there now.
I mean, you're not. You're still. Your kids are too young. You're not really. And even my kids.
The twins are not leaving anytime soon unless they drop the age for when you can send them to jail.
Dude, I mean, if you move to Southeast Asia, I still believe you could get them making sneakers. They would earn, I don't know, $3-4 an hour. And they, little hands, they could get in, do some, some seamstress stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they'd ruin that whole operation.
Oh, they would definitely bring it to hell. I'm going to have to block my own face because, I mean, it's fall. And that's starting to happen.
What are you building up for No Shave November?
I am. I'm trying to play a character on something that's a total nebbish phoebe. And so I thought mustache would work.
Oh.
Or I'll just let it grow and then I'll play like an old West dentist.
You can be Sam Elliott's stunt double.
I wish I could be Sam Elliott's stunt double. I mean, come on, with the little wire rim glasses and stuff. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. I want to comment on our opening thing. We pre-recorded with Larry the Cable Guy today. We're getting some people all of a sudden be like, yeah, I'll come and do that. And so we had Larry the Cable Guy, who we spoke to extensively today. Super funny. I used to tour with him, and we put up a little teaser, but he's coming in the future. We're going to use it down the road when we can promote it properly.
So I played the clip of him from the interview. I was pulling the clips for the show tonight, and I played the clip of him doing his Mater voice. And my son was like flipping out. He's like, Mater? And I was like, well, kind of.
Weird.
It was a really cool experience because his voice is iconic.
Dude, it's like Mel Blanc. When you hear Bugs Bunny now, Mel Blanc's been gone for a long time, but that dude's gonna live forever. I mean, yeah. And even eventually, if they do new stuff, they just find a guy who does the voice, and it's his voice, like Carlos Rocky does. Yeah, we had him on today too. So, super fun stuff lately. So, we have a kind of a cool special guest today.
Oh, she's one of my favorites.
Because it's back to school. It's back to school week, and we're pretty excited about our kids going back to school. So we brought someone who's a trained professional at it, right?
Yes. And she's funny, and I just really like her. She's one of my favorite guests we've ever had.
I know. And we'll have to tell her that because she's listening now. But we haven't had so many guests on the show, and you're always like, we should have Kate Mulligan back. So ladies and gentlemen, Kate Mulligan.
I do pull for her quite often.
Dude, Jason, I love that you stand me.
He has a mad crush on you, man. He has a
Good.
mad.
That's
I'm
gonna keep you.
My
I'm gonna keep you right there.
What are you doing, Kaylor? You're gonna get me in trouble.
No, like a work wife crush,
Like a
not
work
like
wife, yes,
okay.
yes,
Well, we can
yes.
call her that. That works.
Listen,
Listen.
Our next guest was not a character in a Pixar film and was not on Reno 911, but she's definitely a mom in the suburbs. Kate Mulligan, everybody.
You
We couldn't have done a better
intro. Way more interesting.
I got to tell you, I just posted a picture of the YouTube where you have Larry the Cable Guy up, and it's just my name is below it. Like our guest today, I was like, can I technically say I was on a show with Larry the Cable Guy?
You were. He just was. His
Yeah, he
clip
was on the
just
same
going.
show.
We did not interact at all.
Yeah, but they don't know that. If you could have said, "Oh, we hung in the green room,"
Oh, trust me, we didn't interact that much either. We just honestly, we pulled the string and off he went. I mean, he's a trained professional. He
I was like,
doesn't
my
need
legs
us. We were just fodder to busy him up.
Oh,
How
man.
are you? It's been a while. We haven't talked much.
I know.
Because we're like watching our kids all summer. Are your kids back in school now?
They are back in school. I was actually just attending virtual back to school night. I'm the room parent, you guys. Autograph
really?
leader. Oh yeah.
I didn't know you were that organized. You're that organized.
Ish. I mean, I'm pretty type A. I gotta tell you, it's why I was never gonna be a good stand-up. Because like I like know where my money is in my purse. You know what I mean? I feel like the artsy people are sort of like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I have cash. Like I feel like everybody I know who's like, Kayla, what's your wallet look like?
I'm kind of the opposite.
You're military though.
I've never had debt.
Mine looks like a hobo's sack.
We have mortgage debt.
You're good. That means you're good. You got a rucksack, Jason.
In my whole life, I've never carried any debt. I guess that was the one lesson my father kind of beat into me. I used to do a bit about you know I'm a big economist, and this is my one lesson. If everyone follows this one rule, we'll be all good, and that is spend less than you earn. That's it. It's such a simple. But if you like to spend, then you have to earn more than you spend. There's two different ways you can go about it. I chose the first way. So yeah, I just never, I'm not the guy who's like, yeah, jet ski sounds like a great idea. I was never that cat.
But did you do anything like I'm turning 40 in March, and I've like put a down payment on like a sick party I want to have for myself. Like you didn't do that sort of thing?
No. And honestly, since I was going to have, I'm over 50. And when my kids were born, I was going to have a giant.
I'm so sorry. It was involuntary.
I know, honestly, right when I said I'm over 50, a little bit of urine came out, just like a couple drops, like a couple of drops where I was like, AARP, what? Do I get the thermos or the tote bag? It's such a decision. What do I do?
You're going to get your booster shot early too.
I did. I went to a golf course the other day, and I got the senior rate. Maybe 3 months ago, I was like, the guy goes, "You a senior?" And at first, I was totally offended, and I go, "Wait, what's the senior age?" And he told me, I was like, "Yeah, I am senior." It took like $20 off. I was like, "F yeah, dude, rock and roll."
Senior all day, baby.
I'm kind of type A too. Talk about being the room mom. Are you like? Because we have great room moms in my kids' class. They're super great. But I'm always like,
room mom.
Okay.
Take it away, lady.
Okay. So the teacher can't do everything. So you need a type A mother who really loves looking at Pinterest, which that's not actually me, but like it's a person that sort of coordinates all of like the holiday parties and stuff. And I actually got into it last year, which was COVID year, right? Because everything's virtual. And I really pop on the internet. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll throw the Valentine's party. I got into it that way. I was just like, oh, I got to give these kids something fun. Like we got to give them something. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Joe, good to see you. First of all. Secondly,
Jobo. You know Jobo.
Yeah, you know Jobo. His sometimes you'll see.
Hi Joe, I don't know you, but hello.
But he'd like to know you.
We love Joe.
Yeah, Joe. You would love Joe.
So anyway, this is super helpful.
But anyway, yeah, the room parent just basically like tonight I had to talk about like you should join the PTA, which by the way, also I've not joined the PTA yet. But I'm gonna they were like, where's the cafeteria menu printed? So like I'm gonna send an email that gives them the link of like, here's the cafeteria menu. Jamie, you're in California. I mean, I know your kids go to a private school, but are you guys getting free lunches this year too? Is that all California?
Oh no, we pay. I have to go through a menu with my daughters at the beginning of each month.
Yeah.
And then I have to go, do you want chicken taquitos or a cheeseburger? And my daughter's like, and I go, just pick. And then
why do you give them the option?
She comes home that day and she's like, I didn't like either of them. And she wants chocolate milk every day. So we've reached this was our compromise was 2 days of the week she can have chocolate milk. I don't know why. Like, it's like I'm a crime boss and I'm doling out certain sections of town, and I go, you get chocolate milk 2 days a week, no more.
You see that block? That block's yours. Okay,
That's
you
it.
got that. You cross that street.
Negotiation.
You're
It's
cap
so
in your mouth.
painful.
Yeah. No, I believe it. It's funny because it's free for California public schools. So every day he gets nutrition and lunch. It's not going to always be this way, but it has something to do with the relief bill that was passed for COVID. So his lunches are free. So I don't have to pack him lunches, but I also have no idea if he's eating. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea.
Let me comment on this. So Michelle asked, did I feed my son today? So yesterday, second day of school, my kindergartner gets in the van after school. And I said, hey, what did you have for lunch today? And he had a hard time explaining to me what exactly he had for lunch. And I'm like, something's not right here. And then he slips in, my teacher really thinks that you need to pack me a sandwich because it'll help me keep going longer. And I was like, you were packed a sandwich. Yes, but I ate that at breakfast before I went into the school. So what the little shit did, he got off the bus, or he got out of our car. He went inside in an undisclosed location, ate the lunch we packed for him, told the teacher he did not have breakfast. He did at home before he left. He ate a second breakfast at school, and then he'd eaten his lunch, and he told the teacher they didn't pack me a sandwich. So I just have these cheese crackers. Can I also get lunch? So he had like 4 meals across the board. And I was just like, all right. So I wrote a detailed note today to the teacher telling what he had in his possession and what he was allowed to get.
I just feel like he's on the caddy. He's like caddy corner from Jamie's daughter. She's like, I just gonna have 2 chocolate milks. And this kid's like, cross the street, baby. I got you. I got 7 sandwiches and a bag of shit. Like
my daughter. So the younger one is really good about coming up. She goes, can I pack a Hershey Kiss? I'm like, no. Okay. And so I look in her bag of treats, right? She packs all these snacks and I go, this is gone. I'm like Willem Dafoe in Platoon. You don't need this. You're not taking this. We're going in the bush. You're not taking that. You're not taking a bag of Hershey Kisses, you lunatic. And so I go through Hannah's, and Hannah had a whole sleeve of Ritz crackers, like the whole
yes,
sleeve.
Take that sleeve, honey.
It's like a 300-pound stoner guy with cheese whiz would eat it. And she was like, I'll take this. And I said, you're not taking that. She goes, oh no, I share it with everybody. And I go, yeah, their parents didn't send them to school. And then the kid comes home and is like, what did you eat? Oh, Hannah gave me a sleeve of Ritz crackers. It's like,
she's like, in 3rd grade, class feeds you. Class feeds you. You feed class in 3rd grade. In our country, this is how it works.
It's communist.
What do I say? Everybody share everybody.
Yes, I bring potato. We all eat. Yes, I can. And I bring toilet paper.
I feel like you just came. I don't know if you use this a lot, but I feel like that is the name of your new stand-up special, which is No K.
No K?
No K.
Trademark that.
That was amazing. You said it. I was like,
yeah, new shirt.
No K. No K.
No K. Yeah. I always do this with her. I go, no. I nod when I say, she goes, hey, can I have a cookie? I go, absolutely not. And she's like, wait, what? Yeah. Kid's gonna I'm messing that kid up so badly.
Kate Van D's here too. I only have friends that have my name. So
is that right? I love it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What did you get in school today? Her classmates' diabetes. Absolutely true. I'm trying to knock the hammer down. Like at summer, it was hard. Like they were iPad committed, and it was just. I finally, the last couple of weeks of summer, I was like, listen, I can't send you back to school like a vegetable. So I got a workbook, and I'd make them do a couple chapters a day, and now they're reading on days, and I'm kind of dropping the hammer.
I don't know what else to do. I feel like all parents have a thing. Like, what are your guys' things? Because to me, my thing is sleep. I don't feed them as well as I should. We don't have a 2 chocolate milk rule, but like I need those children in bed right now. Like that is our thing. Like we don't like, what is your non-negotiable? I feel like, is it health food for you, Jamie?
No, when you first said, what's your thing? Sleep, I go, oh, dude, absolutely. I love sleep. I go to bed as early as humanly possible. Last night, it was like 8:15. I was in bed. Kate's like, the kids are up. I go, that's not my problem. That's them.
That's on them.
I'm going to sleep. And she's like, well, I
What
can't go to sleep.
fascinates me about Jamie is that I'm on the East Coast and we go to bed. Sometimes I'm up like 6 hours still after he's gone to bed. And I feel like I should call out the nursing home and check to make sure he's okay.
I get up at 5 in the morning, though. I'm up every morning at 5 in the morning.
So you're literally on a 50-year-old schedule.
Yes. Grandpa
Stop
Taylor.
bragging about being old.
I've kind of always been like that. If I'm doing stand up, then yeah, I stay up late. But I still, even when I stay up till like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, I wake up at like 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I guess I don't need that much sleep. I'm supercharged. I don't know.
don't
But yes, and you know, Kate, I couldn't agree with you more because a lot of times, like, I wish I could justify it and say I want the kid to get sleep because it's their health and their brain and everything. But the truth is, I want them to go to bed so I can enjoy like a 2 hours of the night by myself. Like, I'm like, you go to bed. I don't care if you go to sleep. You're not getting out of your bed for that's it.
That's how that's going to work. Yeah.
It's like a prison cell. It's like I lock the key.
100%. Yes.
And then she's an Irish terrorist wiping her feces on the wall. Like, it starts to go south. She will not go to sleep. She's like, I've read every book I have. Did you read every book? You didn't. There's no chance you read them. I read them all. I can't sleep. Train wreck.
What's your name, Jason?
Oh, I don't know. Right now, my whole focus is just trying to keep them from breaking the law. Like, that's just
He has twins, by the way. You know that.
I know, twins, and they were the second to arrive. They're not the eldest, right?
Yeah.
They're the
correct.
youngest?
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old who just started kindergarten.
You guys aimed for 2 and shot straight past to 3, or did you plan
so
the twins?
the oldest is not biologically mine. He came as a set.
Okay.
The twins were an oops, and
Okay.
the oops divided into 2. And
That's a whoops! Exclamation point.
it's my own fault. I willed it into existence because I kept joking because they're the 8th set of twins in my family. I'm like, it's gonna be twins. It's gonna be twins. And sure enough, the ultrasound tech goes, and we have a surprise. And my wife starts weeping, and I was like, oh.
So,
what have I done?
Jobo has a really good point because I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and her 4th grader, she said my 4th grader's sleeping in until she's reading till like 1 a.m. and he doesn't get up till like 10:30. That was like 2 nights before school started. And Jobo's in the same boat of like, yeah, I want to let my kids sleep in, but all of a sudden school started, and you're like, oh no, I'm in serious trouble.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's you. School starts for my kid at 8:30, and then I get to drop my.
We're at 8.
You're at 8.
We're at 8
When he's older, he'll be 8:15. But yeah, and then they're out at 2:30. I'm like, this is not a full school day. I used to go to school at 8:20 and get out at 3:20. Where the hell did that extra hour of the day?
We did too. Mine was still 3. I remember vividly, but I think that might be high school. I feel like that's.
Yeah, I'm talking. Well, maybe. I really think earlier too. I don't know.
I don't know.
Jobo's son sleeps until noon.
Jobo's
in
serious trouble.
Well, I think you just should do independent study from home with him this year because you're not going to make it.
How many room parents are there? Because each one of our classes have 2, and they're super great. And they we get an email every week, which is super informative about, like, you know, Amazon Smiles to donate the stuff, or you know, the scholarship fund, or how, all the little stuff that's happening that week. It's pretty informative, and they're actually super helpful. And I'll text them. I go, well, we're supposed to buy book covers for the kids' books, and I used to use paper bags from the supermarket. What happened to that? And people are like, no, you have to buy them on Amazon. So we had to buy a pack of like 6 book covers.
Wait, why do you have to get them on Amazon? Are they sponsoring?
No, so
it's the type.
Certain things, and something about box tops, you get money back or points back.
Yeah, the dreaded.
And so the school can raise. It's funny, they'll do like a fundraiser at like Casa Vega, where it's like serves the deadliest margaritas on earth. And so if you go there, they'll go, if you have dinner at Casa Vega, they kick 10% back to the school. And so the school does raise money that way, you know.
Oh, I love a dine out because it's also permission for me not to cook. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Exactly right. You're
sorry,
like,
guys, we have to go support.
School.
Just gotta do it for the school. Jamie, do you feel 90% of the time when because you pay for your kids to go to school? I don't. I bought a house and now my kids can go to the school in this neighborhood. But do you feel like
fine, rub it in,
I'm
dick.
just saying. But do you feel like every time the room parents are like, here's where you can do you feel like you want to write back, oh, here's a copy of my last tuition payment? Like, do you ever just want to tell them like, no, there's no more money coming from this household?
That's they're actually they're super cool because it's not really a private school, it's a Catholic school. It's a little Catholic school, and they're super cool. And I also last year I do a lot. Here's what's great I love about my school, and I don't know what other schools are like, but every parent has to do 20 hours a year. You can donate
I love that.
A recess. At first, I hated it. Before I started the school, I was like, I'm not doing that. And then as soon as I started to do it, I felt really involved in my kids' school for some reason. And I thought it was fantastic. And then I started to really put some time in. And last year we did a huge the comedy fundraiser that I did.
that was when I saw you last. It was like right after that. Yeah,
it went super great. And that actually was the impetus for me to then I recorded an album after that that's coming out in like 2 weeks.
Tell me it's called No K. Oh, it's called
No K.
No K.
It's called Homeschooled, and it's basically about homeschooling the kids for a year. Yeah, it's going to be great. But it all came out of that, and it came from this giant change. You know what's really funny? You talk about being a school parent. So I am going to coach my daughter's soccer team. So I had to do a 6-hour online course over the past week. And then I had to go do a live. I had to drive all the way out to Ontario to do a live in-person training for a few hours so they could show us how to coach kids soccer.
Is it through the school or is that like AYSO?
It's AYSO. Yeah. So you have to take – it's really funny. Like I played soccer through college and they had like skills questions about like – when dribbling, the main opponent would be pressure laden and I'd be like, what? I failed that test miserably over and over and over again. It was like John F. Kennedy Jr. taking the bar, couldn't pass it. I had to keep going back, take screenshots on my camera of like, wait, they're saying if I dribble the ball, the guy coming at me is, wait, what? Couldn't pass it. Took hours, had to keep going through it. And then the safe haven stuff about like, don't let kids walk to the car by themselves. 100 right out of the chute.
Nailed it.
That one I nailed. But the one that played soccer my entire life couldn't pass it to save.
Meanwhile, the guy that's not a dad of anybody who's decided to be a coach, that guy failed the safe.
The guy's like, I got a van and a bag of candy. I want to teach soccer.
I hear Hannah's got some crackers she might want to trade.
She got a whole sleeve of Ritz, that kid. She's going to be the hottest kid on the playground. Hey, Jerry, Hannah's get some Ritz today. She's like doling them out like poker chips. Making it rain Ritz in the playground.
I think she's savage enough to do that too. Like
that kid's no dummy. She's a jackass, but she's smart.
Jason, you're saying your kids are sociopaths because you're worried about them being in jail at a tender young age.
Oh yeah. Look, here's the thing. They're like feral raccoons. They just destroy every second. And like our oldest was not this way. And I don't know what happened. And like
it seems like it might be a genes issue since the first one's biological.
Yeah, so it might be. There's a lot of mental illness in my family.
If it quacks like a duck, Jason.
So I don't know, like they have these like little ride-on cars and they hit me intentionally. And it's like in a few years, it's going to be vehicular manslaughter. Like I get it and I see it coming and I can't stop. I've tried like disciplining. They don't give two shits about it.
All right. How old are they?
They're 2.5.
He's just starting the journey, Kate. It's so cute at that age, isn't he? He's so cute.
And here's the thing. They also they do that weird twin language thing. So they literally sound like they talk to each other and they sound like minions. So it's like and they talk back and forth that way. And like I'm like, honey, I'm pretty sure they're planning something, but I don't speak this language, so I don't know what it is, but be on the lookout. And then sooner or later, you'll hear my wife scream in terror, and then I have to run and come and help her because their minion talk has carried out the plan.
It's funny, man. That's funny. That's funny. You should film them doing that. That's pretty funny.
I have tried, but here's the other thing. Anytime they catch me with the camera trying to tape the language, I don't know whether they're worried I'm going to send it to like a linguist and decode it or what, but like they stop as soon as they know they're being recorded. And I'm like, that's not right. Something's not right here.
Maybe they're vampires and they can't be physically recorded on film or see themselves.
I don't know. They eat a lot of garlic.
Yeah, then they're okay. They're okay. Then.
Yeah, that's fine then. Can I ask you guys about going back to school? How's pickup going for you guys? Is pickup a shit show everywhere?
Okay, so we normally don't have. It's not bad normally, but the first week was really rough. So there's two kind of separate campuses on my kids' school, and so kindergarten, first and second are on one side, and that's a different pickup line. And this year, my daughter went to third grade, which is the other pickup line.
I figured it was like Catholics and people that just happen to be at the
Protestants.
The
Don't let the Protestants use the front gate there, Kate. They've got to go out the back. You know how they do it there. Come on now.
Go out back and go worship Mary some more.
God forbid.
Love.
There's a couple of heathen agnostics out there. Then, all
right, Catholics this way. Catholics this way.
All of a sudden, the mustache made sense. Did you feel it? It just all fell into place. So I dropped them both off at the little ones drop-off point that I've dropped off for years. And I told the older one, I said, hey, listen, when I come pick you up, obviously you've got to come back to this pickup point. And she's like, all right, Dad, no piggy. And so it's right next to Dick's. It's right next to another school too. So there's two pickup lines like interweaving. Like, wait, who's going what? They normally try to work out times, but it's the first couple of days, so it's a disaster. And so I wait for like 30 minutes to get in to pick them up, and then they tell me, they go, I'm so sorry, we're having problems still. You're gonna have to pick this one up, then go back around and go through the other pickup line. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
So
I'm not doing that.
Do you guys want to see my cancel check for the last tuition payment I made?
I was already like shaking. I was juggling 50 things. I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, I had just sprinted over. I'd already been there for like 30 minutes picking up my kid. And they wanted me to loop around and go back. I was like, I can't do that.
No.
And so they were nice enough and they called over and they kind of made an exception and let the kid out. But tomorrow I might have to just park and then walk in. We're working it out right now, but it's going to be fun.
So we're in week 2. We're in week 3, actually. I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like this. When I was a kid, you got on a bus and the bus took you to school, and that was that. There was some kids walked to school, but there was no driving to school. You got on a bus.
Yeah, the driving was not a thing.
It was not a thing. So we live technically close enough. We can walk him, but pickup, I'm not when it's 107 degrees in Burbank, California, walking my kid who's exhausted from school and is 6 years old. Like, yeah, let's walk back up the hill. So we go, and I'm telling you, it's like, you know, when you see like koi in a pond and their mouths are out and they're like feeding and they're all over. It's truly what it's like. They're just like, oh. It is like 900 parents all at a gate, just like, that one's mine, and then they just send a kid. So I shouldn't even say it was Burbank, because if anybody wants to steal my kid, you will absolutely be able to by just showing up, pointing, and saying, that one's mine. I've never seen anything like it. We're just like, that one's like, it is. I can't believe that that's the way it happened. I actually talked to my
They're just picking them out like strippers in Vegas.
Yes. I'll take that one.
Dude,
I'll take the one in the Snoopy hat.
It's like Mad Max Thunderdome, where he's like, "You want your kid? I know where it is." And they're all on the trucks trying to get down to get the kid. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Truly, there's got to be a better way.
Weird that we used to. Yeah, it was a bus. My father was like, "You're going to stand at the end of the street.
Yep.
The bus is going to pick you up." Like, he didn't even know. What if some dude was just driving a bus and was like, "Get on"? I'm like, gone. That's the end of me.
Bye.
Nobody.
Was there a surplus of buses in your town?
Manchester, super far.
Also, but Jamie, hats off to that guy for renting a bus. I mean, that was foresight. You know,
other guys are renting ice cream trucks. That guy's like, look, some kids have money for the ice cream truck. Every kid gets on a bus. The bus is a guarantee. I mean, it's like fishing with dynamite. You cannot lose.
There's somebody right now watching this like this.
Okay. Bus, buying the Partridge Family bus. Just shh.
Not
get on.
No, didn't even think
the
of that
guy's
angle.
Like, nice
all
kids.
Not all kids have money.
I look forward to our future being deposed about this.
Now, Mr. Kayla, when you volunteered advice for someone to buy a bus to steal children, were you simply joking, or did you have cruel intentions involved? I just was talking. It was a joke. I don't really.
Was your mustache intentional?
You are canceled, sir. That's the end of you, Mr. Kayla. I object, sir. Yeah. What's nowadays? I mean, I don't know. It's like, yeah. My kids are. It's so great being back in school. I mean, it's weird. I used to like. You remember when you were a kid, you loved summer, and now as a parent, you kind of hate summer.
It's the worst.
You're like, oh damn, I gotta watch these. They gotta be with me all day.
But don't you feel like I do have to say that there are so many gifts of the past year of having the kids at home with us. There's nothing about parenting that scares me anymore. Not a single thing. Because Jamie, you're telling me 3 months with the kids at home. I'm like, I did a year. I did 18 months with my kids at home. Summer doesn't mean a thing. Summer's a bright, like, because there's
well, you say gift, but it's not a gift.
No, it's a gift. It's a gift that
kid doesn't know what a gift is.
It's a gift. It's a horrible thing that happens to you, right? A gift.
That's a curse.
Your childhood. Yeah, I can only imagine Christmas at the Mulligan house when you were a child. We're like, hey, Dad, look what I got, a bag of trash. That's your gift.
Oh, thank you so much. What a gift. I really think that like being stuck inside with them for 18 months is the biggest nightmare of my goddamn life, except for it makes weekends even like feel so much easier. I just remember thinking like when they were in preschool, pre-virus, I was like, oh God, we have to figure out what to do with them all day on the weekend. Like, wow, this is going to be so tough. And now if the kid's sick, like if you find out like your kid can't go to school, didn't that used to be such like a, oh man, I got to have them at home. Now it's like, this is child's play. I've done 18 months in solitary with these assholes.
Now, where do you hear the album? We had construction going on, and people have heard too much about my pandemic. But yes, that's honestly why like them going back to school now is like, it's like somebody was standing on my back and finally just stepped off. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. That does feel way better.
Yeah.
See, this is all new territory for me because now the oldest has started and I don't have anything but the last 18 months as reference, so I don't know this whole world, so this is a whole new thing for me.
Well, it's just everybody's kid lies about eating sandwiches, so you're in the
well right. Here's the first day he gets in the car.
First step.
He gets in the car and I pretended that I should care about what he'd learned that day, so I asked and I said, what did you learn today? And my child, 5 years old, looked me in the eye and said, we learned to do drugs today. And I said, what now? You did what? And he said, we learned to do drugs. And I was like, well, I didn't expect this for at least 2 more weeks. But I'm going to need you to explain exactly what you mean right now. And he's like, where they ring the bell and they take you out and there's supposed to be a fire, but there's not really a fire. I'm like, do you mean a fire drill? And he said, oh yeah, not drugs. And I was like, oh,
for a half second.
Yeah, let's make sure we know that term.
For a half second, you thought he had gone to this, like the school of the twins that they were running. He's like, oh shit, did you just go hang out with your brothers?
He actually just made it as far as our bathroom and that was
like,
dude, when he's in college, he's going to be the coolest kid in town because people are going to come in. He's going to go, hey, you like fire drills? You like fire drills? Everyone's going to go, dude, is it time for a fire drill? Oh, yeah. Hey, the Gowan kid, he loves fire drill. You like fire drills, right?
We also insisted to the teacher that his name is really Peter Parker, and he refuses to let the other children call him by his real name.
Wait.
I mean, if you're going to choose Peter Parker, by the way, Kate, do you know who Peter Parker is?
Sure of course I know. Spider-Man, but like, that's not really his name.
No, his name is Jace.
Okay. I thought you said you talked to the teacher and said
No,
to the
I
teacher.
didn't tell the teacher.
Okay, the way I heard that story was that you talked to the teacher and like, his name's really Peter Parker. And I was like,
That's super
what
funny,
a
actually.
weird.
That would be
What a-
super funny, Jason.
Jason,
If you were
what
like,
a-
look, if you could call my kid Peter Parker, it would really make everybody a lot happier. Is that cool? And also,
oh God.
like fire drills.
He loves fire drills.
I mean, if you like fire drills, maybe after school we could fire drill in the parking lot. But I'm just saying.
It does explain the extra lunches.
He did learn how to do drugs.
He totally
man.
did.
Have any of your kids been bullied yet?
No, my kid is the bully. What are you talking
Your
about?
kid is the bully. You're younger though.
I told her, I said, listen, do you know the best way to avoid bullying? Be the bully.
Be the bully. That's
the
fantastic.
way. Cut right to the top of the Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
you know how you don't get in a
wow.
Ponzi scheme? You be Ponzi. That's how
Yes.
it works.
My
Mr.
kid's
Killer in the courtroom. Did you tell people that their children should start Ponzi schemes? I was joking. It's all part of it's a farce.
My kid is my kid that's in grade school, my first grader, has alopecia, so he's bald, but he's bald in patches, but we try and keep it shaved or whatever. So like we just knew grade school was going to be where it really opened up. So the first day he comes out and he said to me, he's like, I was like, well, tell me everything. And he was like, well, there was a hot dog for lunch. And then kids were mean to me about my alopecia. And he just like said it and I was like, okay, don't make him feel like it's any bigger than it is. But like in my head, I was like, I'm going to need some names and I'm going to need some addresses is like what I'm thinking. But then I asked him later and he was like, that's first day of school, punch the biggest kid in the yard. Nope, that is prison. In fact,
Joe Bro may have to come on the show. Joe
Bro's
Bro's
yeah,
he's really funny.
Is Joe a buddy of yours?
He's a fan of the other show that I'm on. Yes,
Oh,
so
he's
yes,
so
we are
funny.
friends through that. Yes,
We might have to have Joe Bo might have to come on the show. He's super funny.
Joe
Right. Joe Bo. Well, listen, I wondered about that because I see your post. I see the alopecia stuff. For people who don't really know, maybe explain it a little in depth because it is interesting.
It is interesting, but it basically his immune system attacks his hair. So sometimes he has hair, sometimes he doesn't. But like people that you would know that have had it, Anthony Kerrigan was a guy that's on Barry. He's like he's
great, and that's exactly what he has.
It's exactly what he has. And we actually like became friends with him.
So he has no eyebrows or hair, right?
So there's 3 different versions of it. There's alopecia areata, which is patchy, which is my son has, which is just you lose hair in patches. And then there's totalis, which is the whole entire scalp. And then there's universalis, which Anthony Kerrigan has, which is whole body. So you don't have hair anywhere, no eyelashes, no eyebrows. We actually there's a girl in our neighborhood who's our babysitter now, who's a high school senior with universalis. And she is like, we always said about this disease, like the side effect is you just become the most baller human being. Like you just end up being the Anthony Kerrigans of any field that you're in. You just end up being like, well, now I've got the most confidence. But so he says that. And I was like, well, what did that mean that they were mean to you about your alopecia? And he's like, they told me I had to wear a lot of hats in the summer. And I was like, oh, I got to talk to those kids about their burns. That's not good.
And then you have to wear hats.
Yeah. And then he said another kid.
I'm wearing hats too. So.
I was like, well, it's not untrue. You do have to wear a lot of hats in the summer. But then and he said another kid said that he had cancer. And I was like, well, do you have cancer? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that settles that. But I was like, I don't think that kid was probably being mean. Because the thought of a kid being like, that kid has cancer. I'm going to be mean to that kid with cancer.
You would think that because we were all taught that they lose their hair.
I would help you beat that kid up.
Yeah, truly. And then like last week, I thought it was going to be done after the first week, but last week he said a kid took his hat off and said, is that from COVID? And I was like, oh, Neil, I don't know how to tell you this. That kid's an idiot.
That kid's an idiot. Yeah,
that kid's an idiot.
Is there a way to just can you do a cool mohawk or something and keep like that one spot?
Unfortunately, we can't because it's like
it's everywhere.
When he was a baby, we had called it the friar tuck. He only had hair here. But
I saw photos. I remember seeing photos.
Yeah, but now it's like we're gonna probably make a bald does get you all the girls later, Neil. Hell yeah.
I mean,
Look
can I
at
be
Richard
honest?
Eric right there.
I still like my hairline's still coming down my forehead,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, I used to not be covered in fur, and now it's like all of a sudden I felt on my shoulder there was a hair like that long, and I'm like, what the? Like, part of me
Yeah.
kind of wishes I had the Universalis one where it was just
I
like,
know, it just goes away.
I could be squeaky clean. Oh, that might be nice.
This is amazing, Susan. I love that you're in the alopecia family. What's
Susan
up,
from my
Susan?
hometown. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know
It's-
that. That's amazing.
yeah.
It really hit in middle school. It is.
Well, and
kids
yeah,
can be vicious.
I was gonna say we are so lucky because Neil got diagnosed at 2, so he's only ever known this. Like, I think it's so much harder for a kid to grow up knowing hair and then lose it when they're 13. So I hope that Susan's kid, for his sake, had it at a young age, because like Neil doesn't remember having hair. Although the weirdest thing about COVID was all of his hair came back because he wasn't getting sick at all. And what happens is, like, we found sort of like when he gets sick, his immune system's like, all right, I'm going to get this cold. And then it's like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get you. And we're like, no, that's not a virus. Those are hair follicles.
You just got to put it in timeout for a little bit.
Yeah, I just got to put it in timeout. And there's all sorts of stuff we can do. We're just hoping he won't care. But I was like, there was the worst possible thing I could hear on the first day of him coming home from school was that kids were mean to him about his alopecia. And then I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine. And then when I heard what they said, I'm like, okay, they'll get more creative. They'll get better at their jabs eventually.
Can we say also that maybe this era is way better for him to be in than like when I was a child?
100%.
Where people just would like, hey, you know?
Yes.
Like, I feel like nowadays, the bully will be ostracized faster than anything.
That's probably true. Although small children still bully me a lot.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously. There was I posted an article recently where the guy, I guess his daughter had bullied a girl with cancer, and she had no hair, and she was wearing a wig, and I think his daughter pulled the wig off. Did you read that article?
No, I was going to say, this is so classic of alopecia too, that girls that choose to wear wigs, people will constantly, to bully them, will be like, and you didn't have hair. Like, it's like they want to prove that the girl's wearing a wig. It's absurd.
Honestly, for women, it's got to be even. I see older women who are losing their hair, and it's always like, oh my God. Terrible.
Yeah.
But so the father said, did you see? I posted the article. He gave her a choice in punishment. He said you could either lose your iPad, your phone for the rest of the year, or you shave your head. Those are his two choices or something. People were lit up. They were like, you shouldn't parent like that. I kind of liked it. It wasn't like he goes around and shaved her head. He gave her a choice and said, we're taking away all of your stuff for the rest of the year, or you
walk a mile in the shoes. Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic, but people, I would say, were 90% against the way he parented. I thought it was fantastic.
Really? It was that much?
You what?
It was that much, like, against?
I felt like most people were against this bullying type of father who I don't know if they read the whole article right, though, because I think they assumed he just held her down and shaved her head.
Shaved her head, yeah. And the title, if you don't read the article, that I can see where the title leads you to believe that.
It's like the title was like, father abuses daughter by holding her down and shaving.
Father makes girl shave her head was the headline.
Oh, okay.
But he gave her a choice. And to be fair, I mean, lucky you don't have cancer as a high school student. I mean, for the love of God, if you're a kid who's actually making fun of and bullying someone else, I think there was a problem with a boy involved or something. I forget how the story goes, but I don't care, dude. At some point,
if that dad was really a bully, he would have injected her with cancer. Come on, let's be honest. That would have been
Jobo gets it. Jobo knows what's going down. Seriously. All right, Jobo's coming on next time. We're gonna put him on the You gotta come on the show. Yeah.
You're gonna have to give me your contact information for these fellas.
Message us. No, seriously, I love it. I love it. We love it. That's why we post the comments. That's why we do this live, so people can kind of interact. And it's super funny because you can see that people are really funny and they're great. But it's crazy because everybody every day is like dealing with this insanity, and then we all kind of chit chat. We're all going through the exact same crap. Everybody.
Yeah.
But that alopecia stuff, I see your posts, and I'm just always like, oh, how do we fix this? How do we fix this?
I know, but it's also like we've really it was I said I got to be really sad about it the day we found out. And then there's been like a couple of heartbreaking moments here and there, and I know that most of the heartbreak is still ahead of us. But I will say that like I also think about like Dickie, my husband, for a while, like wrote for pharmaceutical advertising. And so he was like, he had to research these horrible diseases, these autoimmune diseases. And I'm telling you, you pick any autoimmune disease, I'll take alopecia for my kid every single time. It's hair. It's not diabetes. Like I used to nanny for a kid that was type 1 diabetes. And like the way his life was hard, it's a completely livable, can be normal life. But like I would have to go in, like when I would be staying over the night with them, I'd have to take his blood at about 11 p.m., test it while he's sleeping. I'd have to see if he needed more insulin or not, give him a shot in his tush. If like, and like, not only that, but like the pancreas is compromised. It's like we would take this every single time. We do not feel sorry for ourselves often.
My first college roommate did that. The guy I got paired with at Boston University, I met him, and then he was like, he would just pull his shirt up and take a needle and jab himself. And I go, dude, he goes, I'm diabetic. And I was like, what? What is happening? He's like 19 years old. And he jabbed, right in the stomach. He did it like a few shots a day. And he also drank like a fish. I was like, I'm not sure.
I don't think.
That sounds like a terrible combination, brother. I mean, college is, I get it, but what you're doing.
Yeah, but also, sir, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to account for that. Yeah. Because I'm sure the drunker you get to
for it, though.
Anytime your kids go through any pain, it's just I always say they go, I just say my kids are extensions of my nervous system, because anything that happens to them, I feel worse than it ever happened to me.
Yep.
It's the worst feeling when your daughter comes home. She's like, my daughter hated her red hair. Like she's
I was going to say, Jamie, I got to say, you definitely have something akin to alopecia, and that I'm sure your girls who have the most beautiful red hair ever, but it is still a weird thing. But thankfully you put them in that Catholic school, because I'm sure there's a lot of other redheads.
In the Catholic school outfits. That's kind of why I did it. But as a redhead, it's not that I don't know. It's just so unique.
Yeah.
That, she's literally the only girl in her class with red hair, and she has bright red hair, and she wanted to dye it purple. And I said, you can dye it purple one day. I don't care. But I'm going to tell you right now, all these people, when they walk by and they go, you have the most beautiful color hair, it's hard. I dealt with it because I was a redhead as a kid, and it was super hard. And as a boy, it was terrible. Like I got bullied because people were like, it was like the red cape to the bull. Like they were like trying to hit it. And I was like,
you had that little Debbie Cakes haircut there for a while that was in your baseball photo too.
Oh my God, that photo! I gotta pull that up. Yeah.
Which photo?
Hold please.
The baseball when you were doing the Jason, what am I looking up on my phone for? Your baseball photo.
Well, he's got he's got like the Dorothy Hamill going on.
I definitely had a Dutch boy, Dorothy.
And it's not the Dorothy Hamill, the Mark Hamill. Okay, it's one of the Hamills.
It definitely was not Hamilton. Yeah, I mean, all right. I'll show you one that you guys keep chatting. I'll show you one that really you'll go like, oh, that guy was totally bullied.
You also track like the kid on in Christmas Story who is the bully that with the
I know him.
Hat.
I've done stand up with him. He's a super nice guy, but he
looks the same face in person.
He looks like Children of the Corn. He's super scary, and he's a redheaded guy. And it's torturous. So it's terrible.
Oh my God.
I was always just this marshmallowy kid. So like I knew one time in gym class, kids yelled at me. I was wearing a black and white like outfit, and the kids yelled at me, "Oh look, they freed Willie," and that. Did you just laugh, Kaylor?
Super mean. Super mean.
He loved it. He loves that joke. That was wild. He loved that joke.
But it's pretty funny. And I honestly, Free Willy was probably big that season. It was probably a good, solid joke. That's a solid joke.
Not for my psyche, Jamie.
No, of course not.
I'm still holding on to it, obviously.
I don't know where my high school photo's in here somewhere, and it is bright red.
I've accepted it. I look like the little boy from Up, all grown up.
I mean, that dude got bullied, right? That dude.
I don't know. I was about to say that dude got pussy. Okay, that guy.
Honestly, he got both. He got both. That dude did some damage. That's high school. That's senior year of high school. I mean,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that lid.
That is. You
You're
remember
rocking the
Andrew
Pat
Santino, don't you?
Sajak. I like it.
It's bright red and just it is horrifying.
I just
And
can't
then-
believe that you called yourself Russell from Up just now. That was wild, Jason.
Yeah, I
And then
basically.
Paul.
That's what actually
That
why
was-
I grew the goatee.
Oh,
because it
yeah.
was-
That guy.
Terrible red hair.
Oh, but that guy got it. Oh yeah, that guy.
Well, that guy got it for sure.
He
That guy
definitely
got it.
I mean,
guy
that
got it.
dude,
No,
he got some. Yeah,
that guy got some strange. Okay.
got some. I miss that guy. He was a good cat. He was fun. He drank too much. I'm not gonna lie to you. He drank too much. He
Don't
was
worry, he's-
selfish.
But
He
he
was
cleaned
super
it up in the
selfish.
Navy after. He cleaned it all up in the Navy, or was the
No,
Navy
that's
before?
where he really learned to drink professionally. Was the Navy? That's the worst. That's what do you think? People clean up in the Navy? Are you a lunatic?
Well, I just
Have you
didn't think I didn't think you were getting strange in the Navy because you're just with a bunch of dudes the whole time.
Any port in a storm, Kate. You don't know how it works. When you're at sea for 28 straight days,
I need to live in a port city. God damn it!
you got to get in a port city. That's where all the action
Oh, I
happens. man.
wasted my 20s inland. God Almighty!
You got
I
to get
was
to the ocean.
landlocked.
Listen, it's the easiest way to get cargo in. You know how it goes.
I'll tell you what. You come off that ship in those dress whites. There is nothing I won't do for you. I
I won them. Yeah, I got some. I'll send you some photos of me in my dress whites. It was great.
Show you a good time. Woo. Welcome to Orlando.
Actually, they're still in the back of my closet. I gotta break them out with the shoulder boards and the choker whites.
If you came on, but I'm telling you, we would have to shut the show down. Do
It would
not
be.
put that on. Do not put that on. It would be like you would just see like a pair of granny panties come out.
Isn't it funny now? It's so funny to like you see old pictures and you get lost in this moment of you're like, oh yeah. And then you're brought back to reality. And then you look at your kids and you're like, wait, my kid's going to go through the exact same journey. When you're talking about like the insanity of like my buddies he does a movie club, Steve Mason, super funny guy. He's got to be on the show too. And this week is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is kind of the seminal film of my era growing up, high school. And if you watch it, it's super dark.
Oh, yeah.
She gets pregnant. She has an abortion. It's really dark. But the thing was, it's like, yeah, that was kind of high school. That was kind of high school where I grew up. I mean, people were, touching babies.
Aborting fetuses. You guys, come on.
And so I kind of see like my kids and I'm like, oh my God, she's like 8. She's only, in high school.
She's a couple years away from aborting. Wait, what?
No, what? But I worry about I have
No,
2
I
little
know.
girls. I'm like, I remember
know.
what I thought. Every thought in high school in my head was, how do I get there? Like that's all.
But don't you also feel like parents, for good or bad, I'm not sure which it is, but don't you feel like we dialogue with our kids differently than our parents would talk to us?
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like I never had, like, I remember my mom reading me a book about what sex was, and then like that was that. And there was never like an offer to like assist. Oh no, Jobo. Wait, please drop some doozies in here.
He really did.
Hey,
He's
when I was a
awesome,
kid, there
dude.
wasn't a show called 16 Teen Mom
Team
on
Mom.
a huge show.
No, I know.
All of a sudden, they became celebrities because they got pregnant at 16 and they were white trash. And then other
Yeah.
girls were like, how do I become a celebrity?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
Pape.
Yeah.
And so I actually think it got kind of worse in a way than
Well,
it did.
I just mean that I'm saying, like, I feel like I will say to my sons, like, I'll just have conversations with them. Like, I'm definitely going to, I mean, and Jason, you too, the way that we're going to have to.
Jobo's coming on the show.
Upstaging me, Jobo. Unbelievable. All of the zingers are coming from the chat tonight. God almighty.
Should we send him the link and let him come in for the end?
Yes, we should.
Can he send
Yeah.
Jason the email? We should have an email that people can send their email to, and we'll send him a link to let Jobo in for a minute.
I can get him the link on Twitter, I think.
Send him the
Okay,
link.
do that real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Send him the
okay.
link. We'll let him come in because
But-
we're near the end. We can't go too much later, but
But I feel like I do feel like
This is
I'm
cool,
just
man.
it is a school night, but I just feel like the Jobo, I'm going to send you a DM on Twitter. I love that we're calling you Jobo. I just feel like, especially like with consent, like I'm going to have to talk to my boys about like, hey, if you ever get drunk and a girl gets drunk, you can't have sex that night. You're not gonna be able to, like, you just can't do that. Like, you're not gonna be able to do that because there can be questions about like, this is like, I'm gonna have that time. Nobody in my family ever was like, hey, you know, if you say no and they're not like nobody, you know, I just feel like we talk to our kids.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Did.
How many times in your life have you had sex sober?
None today.
Can I? Yeah, zero today.
Anytime I see a guy who quits drinking, I'm always like, dude, how are you ever going to have sex again? I don't know. Am I the only one who's like?
I mean, I'll tell you
sober,
what. When I was pregnant,
I think 2 sober 16-year-olds are going to go like, I believe that we should copulate.
Oh, he just said he's about to go to bed.
Wilbo's smart. I was wondering, he's smart because we're about to wrap up anyway. And he's smart. He knows when to drop the microphone. He's like, he's going to bed. We'll have you on another time, though, dude. I love it. I love the comments. We're super funny. I was just
gonna DM it to you.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Unbelievable.
Sometimes you don't wanna reveal the wizard.
No, I know.
That's true. Sometimes it maybe he's.
Honest to God, we're gonna find out it's just your fucking twins in the other room on the phone.
They're just on each other's shoulders wearing a trench coat.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I don't know where we'll be when my daughters are of that age, but when they're in high school, I mean, she's already. I always kind of spoke to her like an adult, Hannah, especially, and so
this is what I'm saying. This is my point.
She's very mature for her age, even though she's the youngest girl in her class. She's, I mean, fearless, and to a degree of like, I've had to have conversations with her. I'm like, listen, man, you can get seriously hurt. You keep like, we went to the beach the other day. I said, don't go any further out. And she kind of grinned at me and went out a little further. She climbed the rocks at Leo Carrillo. And I said, don't go any higher. And she's like, and she went higher. And I go, you keep pushing because you haven't had a catastrophic injury yet. Yeah. But you were. We all have. That's how life works. You're not gun shy yet, but you should be. Because she goes, oh, I'm okay. I'm going to be safe. I go, you say that? That's not how life works.
Yeah.
You're going to get injured. We all have. And then maybe, I hope it's just not to a degree where it's so catastrophic that you can't come back from it. Because I'm telling you, because I've been on earth forever, not to do certain things. Yep. And you won't listen to me. So at some point, I can't help you.
Right. I mean, accidents by their nature are not I mean, you don't plan an accident. So it's sort of like, we don't have control over that.
But you can guide yourself into, and this is coming from a guy who, I have 50 scars on my face, windshield, Boston Police Department, rifle scope, hockey stick, baseball bat. I've had 100 stitches in my face. And it's because I was her. But my father, I just never listened to him. And so I got what I got coming. And so she's going to have it too. I just hope she's as lucky as I was and kind of survives it. Because there were many times I probably should not have made it, but I got lucky. And so as a parent, you look at your kid, you're like, shit, is she going to survive it? I don't know.
I just feel like, don't you think that at some point that your daughter, because she has a good relationship with both you and your wife, is going to come to you and say like, can one of you help me get birth control? Don't you feel like that conversation could come up and that you guys would help her with that?
I do. We're still Irish Catholics, so we aren't as open about stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But I will definitely, yes. We're not really, we don't talk about our private parts like I see other families do. Of like, but yes, of course. I hope we're open. I hope we have that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason's got boys, so he's going to be like, dude, they're on their own. I don't know what's happening.
No, we've already actually, before Jason went to school, we told him straight up, a very basic consent rule.
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
And, I said,
this is before kindergarten?
Yes.
Yeah, I just, look, there's too many wackadoo parents who misconstrue things now, where I told my son, if anybody, you need to respect people's space. Don't be touching basically anywhere here at all, ever. And if somebody tells you no, that they don't like something you're doing, you stop and you don't go any farther than that.
Yeah.
And that's where we've kind of left it for now.
My one kid spanks me all the time. He's just like, and I'm like, you cannot touch other. Yes, punches my tush.
Punches my tush.
I know it's right in your face. Okay.
Well, my oldest unfortunately saw his father do similar things to his mother, and one time he walked in and he smacked his mother and yelled out, "Bring that booty!" And I was like, oh no. But this is the same child, and Jamie, you know this story, but we went to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician asked my son, "How are you doing?" My son did not answer, "I'm doing great. I'm doing good." Or he didn't even say it was bad. He goes, "Last night I saw my mom dressed up as Catwoman was scratching daddy." And that's how, and I am like, so I just started reading her eye chart. And I'm just like, E. Very interesting stuff here. And to my pediatrician's credit, she didn't call me on it. But as we were leaving, she leans in and goes, "Please tell Catwoman I said hello."
That's awesome. That's pretty funny, man.
That's the best pediatrician ever.
We haven't been caught. But that's because we do it so seldom. I was
gonna say,
it's like spotting it's like Brigadoon.
I was like,
only once a year.
If they catch us, they should play the lotto that day. Okay.
See, and that's how I felt. Like I was like, we didn't even know, number one, we were caught. And number two, that like obviously he came in, he's like, "Oh, Catwoman's here. This is gonna be good. Dad's gonna, and that wasn't what he
Michelle was it Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not Halle Berry. It wasn't a Halle Berry Catwoman.
No, my wife is.
Was it the Lee Merriweather Catwoman?
That would have been okay.
Yeah, that was like, or Lena Horne, was she Catwoman?
But
I don't know.
It's Pfeiffer or nothing.
It's Pfeiffer or nothing. Thank you.
Dude,
by the way, I'm just seeing your shirt, and that's Bluey's dad. The best show on earth. Is that not the greatest kids television show?
It is the funniest thing ever. It's the only show they watch that I don't want to blow my brains out after.
100%.
That's super funny.
It's just a great show for adults too.
All right, listen, we've already gone over. Kate, he was right. You're the best. You're the best. I mean,
thank you. Get her done.
You and Larry, honestly, between you and Larry, you guys held the show together.
Thank you.
It was really, and the interplay between you and Larry was just spot on.
Thank you so much.
It was great.
I'm going to edit something together there.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we just get a clip of you guys saying it was so fun to have you, Kate Mulligan, and Larry the Cable Guy on the show together at the same exact time? Can we just get a clip of that real quick?
Sure, yeah. Honestly, Kate, it was great to have you and Larry the Cable Guy come on together to promote your current projects. It was
one
superb.
of my favorite shows.
Great. Good luck with the projects that you both are working on.
Thank you. We're gonna get her done.
Together or separately.
That's my pal. That's my guy.
Between the two of you have performed for millions and millions of people.
Between the two of us, thank you.
And also, thank you for bringing Jobo with you.
And Jobo's the king. Jobo's definitely going to
Jobo really took the cake tonight. Also, I love that he was like, "I'm going to sleep." Just kidding. I'm going to keep saying in the chat, I just didn't want to come on the show.
I don't blame him. Listen, he might be stark naked. He might be half in the bag. Who knows what's happening?
Okay, he subscribed to you guys too. How about that?
Hey, all right. Thank you, Joe.
But you know what? We should remind people, please like, follow, subscribe, and come on board, because we also do random Scotch tastings and all kinds of other crazy shows, because honestly, this has become our escape from parenting, and basically it's a constant reminder to go, we're all in the same boat.
We're all in it together.
Misery loves company, so. And misery also loves wine, apparently, and my wine's just about empty.
And my pumpkinish beer is also almost done.
And my vodka lemonade's definitely empty.
And by the way, it's a vodka lemonade without the lemonade, I believe. It's just, it's just vodka.
Sorry, I said that wrong. I'm gonna feel like a real gift tomorrow.
You're going to be the room
A
parent
callback, guys.
extraordinaire tomorrow. All right, listen, everybody, thank you so much. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. Kate, where can people find you?
My address, I think I did this last time. So
Wait,
my
no,
address
do
is.
that.
What?
We're live.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
literally
Oh, sorry.
live.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Instagram at Katest Mom Ever.
Yes.
Which I
Yeah.
love.
Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, I'm on SEN, which is Schmodown Entertainment Network, a couple mornings a week. And also I'm doing a show with Christian Harloff once a week on Mondays called The Big Thing. So
I love
all of
him.
that.
You know, he's one of my oldest friends. I've known Christian
I know.
for 25 years. He's the
I know.
best.
We have to get you on the show one day, JP.
I would love to come play with Christian. He's fantastic.
He's so fun.
All right. That's it for the Parents Lounge. Jason, we have
you.
a big show coming up in Pennsylvania in a few weeks. My album's coming out in a couple weeks. You want to promote the show real quick?
Yeah, live on stage September 24th and 25th in Sayre, Pennsylvania at the Sayre Theater, the Parents Lounge live show. And you can get tickets at BradfordCountyMovies.com or right here on our Facebook.com/The Parents Lounge. Just go to the events and click the ticket link.
I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. East Coast time. Larry the Cable Guy is coming up. Bill Engvall's coming back again. We have a whole slew of guests coming up, so be sure to come on board and play along. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks so much, guys.